Ana haber bülteni.
İyi akşamlar sayın dinleyiciler. Ben Tuğba Bezirgen. Önce özetler. Cumhurbaşkanı Recep Tayyip Erdoğan yıl sonuna kadar deprem bölgesinde devletin güç sahiplerine teslim edileceğini söyledi. Cumhurbaşkanı Erdoğan mümkün olan en kısa sürede Hatay başta olmak üzere tüm deprem bölgesinin yeniden ayağa kaldırılacağını söyledi. Cumhurbaşkanı Erdoğan merkezi yönetimle yerel yönetimin dayanışması önemini vurguladı. 31 Mart'ta Hatay'da yeni bir dönemin kapılarını aralacağı söyledi. SSK ve Bağkur emeklilerinin beklediği düzenleme resmi gazetede yayınlandı. 2024'ün ilk 6 ay maaş zam oranı %49,25. Eşitlenmiş oldu. İçişleri Bakanı Ali Yerlikaya, Türkiye istersen 6 Şubat depremlerinde 53.537 kişinin hayatını kaybettiğini, 107.213
Считая процессами производства постепенно довели до совершенства. Существует много видов доуфу: северный, южный, прессованный и другие. Разница между северным и южным доуфу в том, что при приготовлении северного доуфу в подогретую массу из измельченных соевых бобов добавляют рассол. В результате получается очень плотный доуфу, который мало жидкости. В южном рецепте используют гипс. У этого доуфу белоснежный цвет. Поэтому мягкий, похожий на желе.
Разные виды тофу и готовят по-разному. Для печенья и жарки едят в различные начинки. Южные также тушат, а шашимары используют в супах, а также в виде холодных закусок. Словом, как вкусно. Кстати, а ты пробовал подсушить тофу?
Пока нет, хотя слышал, что есть. Menderes gözlerini yavaşça aradı. Ayağı uçağın tabanına sıkışmıştı. Başı kalıyor. Gözlerindeki son takatiyle ayağını tabandan kurtardı ve kendisini bir ağacın altına attı. Türkiye Cumhuriyeti Başbakanı Adnan Menderes kendisini bekleyen hazin sonu bilmeden hayata tutunmayı başarmıştı. Ekonomi bu sırada kötüye gidiyor. Dolar %200 değerli. Vatana ihanet ve anayasayı ihlal suçlarından yargılanan Menderes'in tek tesellisi eşine yazdığı mektuplar. 16 ayın sonunda hakimler kalemlerini kırmış ve kararı açıklamışlar. İdam. 17 Eylül öğlen vakti Adnan Menderes tabureye çıktı. Yemek boynuna geçirdi ve sadece İstanbullu olduğu bilinen Cevdet ayaklarının altındaki taburunu
And this one, good morning, my request of QSL Electronic Conference of Turkey. Thank you very much. Thank you, Vivet Kreisner from Italy, but no name. Only I can see the mail. Hermano Pasquini. Should be from Italy. Belgium. Defender, reception report, fine, know my record at WL report from your radio station broadcast. It has been found to be correct and please verify it by a creator or a creator card. Sure, March 1, we will issue the creator card accordingly, and I can see amazing details in such a report.
Explains the purpose of this unique competition, which has already become tradition. The idea of this bird desire to involve people even more in our awareness raising and educational activities. We wanted to get them involved as well, and we thought that this Bird of the Year contest would be very interesting for them too, and that they would be interested in it. They would follow the information provided. Every year we run this contest with 3 species in which they can vote. The bird with the most votes becomes Bird of the Year. During the contest we provide information about each species. It's about habitat, food, nesting. So it's basically bird lovers who choose the next Bird of the Year. The red-breasted goose is a vulnerable species, as Andrea Opera, in charge with communication at the Romanian Ornithological Society, tells us. It faces a high risk of extinction in the future due to continued population decline, habitat destruction, and overexploitation. The species nests in Siberia, not in Romania. Approximately 70% of the total number of birds from the Timor Peninsula winter in Romania, as well as birds from the neighboring Ghidan and Yamal peninsulas. It is the smallest of the goose species in Europe and, in our opinion, the most beautiful. We know that migration
is the Centre for Advanced Manufacturing of Protein. How useful it's been to your business, this acceleration initiative. Has it opened your eyes? Has it given you new connections so that you could forge new partnerships?
Yeah, that's a very good question. So first, what we wanted to do is to be exemplary in our manufacturing footprint. We have about 70 net zero, and the target to be carbon neutral by 2025, so very short time frame. So it means that we operate today in all our different geographies in digitalization, electrification, sustainability, all embedded. When we're doing that for ourselves, it's also a showcase, but you know, throughout the journey, we have ups and downs. It's not easy, as I was mentioning, in terms of technology, business model, cultural shift, in terms of suppliers. How to get the materials straight? Not that easy, not natural. So what I think is the beauty of the initiative is to connect the dots, to share what we are going through. Engineering sometimes it's difficult, but we share that across the board. And therefore we can be more meaningful. We can step by step make progress. That's how we would achieve the target. One example again on green material, we have an objective to have 50% of green materials embedded in our products by 2025. Not easy, so we need to connect dots. We need to have lots of discussion with many suppliers that are shaping the industry of the future in terms of material efficiency, etc. So this is something that is really meaningful in this kind of environment. Thank you.
So taking this chance, I want to share about the experience of a lighthouse factory as well. You know, a lot of people think about
na greki elingi koloba nyonso na ebandeli ya kokola mbutu oyo ezalaka kaka lokola mbuma ya mapa kasi na ntango ya kobuka bambuma oyo mibale ezali pete oyo ya kokesonisa yango mibeko ya roma ezalaki kopesa etumbu na moto nyonso oyo azalaki kokende kolona mbuma mabe na ilanga ya moninga mokonzi okolaki mboto elongo ya mbuma ya mapa oyo ya mbuma matiti mabe ezalaki mingi ya kokangama na lolenge ete soko tolongoli lioko mosusu
ضد أوكرانيا. دعا وزير الخارجية الكوري الجنوبي تشو تيول الدول الأعضاء في مجموعة العشرين للقيام بدور ريادي في مواجهة قضايا كوريا الشمالية. جاء ذلك في كلمة ألقاها الوزير تشو في اجتماعات وزراء خارجية مجموعة العشرين التي عقدت يومي الأربعاء والخميس في مدينة ريو دي جانيرو البرازيلية، حيث شدد على ضرورة أن يستجيب المجتمع الدولي لتصرفات إنما تضحي بحقوق الإنسان الخاصة بمواطنيها، مشيرا إلى أن القضايا الأمنية وقضايا حقوق الإنسان في كوريا الشمالية مرتبطة ببعضها البعض وكأنهما وجهان لعملة واحدة. نقل تقرير نشرته وكالة الأنباء الفرنسية أمس عن متحدثة باسم وزارة الخزانة الأمريكية قولها إن الحكومة الأمريكية تخطط لفرض عقوبات.
Calls for doctors to return to work or face punitive action, such as the suspension of their medical licenses. Jung Yoon reports from Seoul.
According to the Ministry of Health and Welfare, 9,997 female doctors accounting for 80% of the total, have submitted their resignations, and 9,076 of them have left their work sites as of Wednesday. Health Minister Cho Kyo-hong made a last-minute appeal to the striking doctors, repeating a pledge that they will not be held accountable if they go back to work by Thursday. The government said it will soon initiate steps to suspend the licenses of those who fail to return to work by the deadline. Authorities will conduct an on-site inspection at hospitals to finalize the list of trainee doctors who have not returned by the deadline and begin relevant steps for punitive measures. The government has initiated investigations into several critical cases resulting from the ongoing strike. In one case, a pregnant woman with birth canal complications suffered a miscarriage after being denied surgery at one of the affected hospitals. The Korea Alliance of Patients Organization is calling the postponement of treatment a death sentence for patients, urging trainee doctors to promptly return to work and calling on the government to take measures to prevent medical service disruptions from happening again. The government has announced plans to expedite the opening schedules of 4 situation rooms used for emergency medical services. They will supervise and manage the transfers of patients in emergency or critical condition so they can receive timely treatment. In the final procedure for the government to file a criminal complaint over the labor action, Health Ministry officials have visited the homes of trainee doctors to deliver the government's back-to-work order.
Joe Biden are expected to visit the country's southern border to talk about migration. The two opponents have put immigration on the agenda, as news poll suggests it has become the top issue for voters. The U.S. Federal Aviation Administration says it'll give Boeing 90 days to come up with a plan to address its systemic quality control issues. The FAA says the plan must also include steps Boeing will take to mature its safety management system program, which it committed to in 2019. The statement comes after FAA Administrator Mike Whitaker met Boeing Chief Executive Dave Calhoun and his senior safety team. The U.S. Commerce Department says the country's real gross domestic products growth in the fourth quarter of 2023 has been revised down to an annual rate of 3.2% in the second estimate. In the advanced estimates released in late January, the increase in real GDP in the fourth quarter was 3.3%. An ongoing drought is deepening an acute water crisis in Mexico City, drying out the capital's reservoirs. Residents are now complaining of long waiting periods for city water deliveries and stricter rationing. Blacksmith Leonardo Delgado complains that the water truck hasn't come for a third week in a row.
It has been about 4 or 5 months since water hasn't been running out of the faucet. A water truck needs to come and bring us water. It's hard, and sometimes they don't bring the water.
Officials said the El Niño weather pattern and heat waves caused the recent fall-off in rain. They added that drought conditions have been intensifying over the past 4 years and gradually lowering reservoir levels.
Thank you very much. That was Do Hongyu with your headline news. Mr. Shane Bigham in the Chinese capital. Coming up in business, China's official GDP numbers for 2023.